Texas Representative Phil King, who is doing work in Texas. We're excited to hear from him. He'll introduce our next speaker.
Mr. Secretary, good afternoon. I am so sorry that I'm not able to be there in person to introduce you today. But as you know, the governor called the Texas House and Senate into special session. And as you and anyone else who's watching the news knows, the Democrats the next day jumped on their private jets and flew to D.C. Now, we've issued something you did in 2003 when the Democrats left once before. We've issued a call on the House, which means we're all locked in the building. Now, I did get this pass for today, which let me come to my office to film this introduction. Now, the most exciting thing we do each day is pick which color our pass will be for the day. This is a teal blue, and that pretty much sums up all the accomplishments of the Texas House for yesterday. Now, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I could talk a long time about Rick Perry. You know, he started off first in the Texas House, where we like to say he was housebroken, and his time there, without any question, was the key to his success for the rest of his political career. After the House, he went to serve as our Commissioner of Agriculture, which is a tremendous agency in the state of Texas. After that, he left to be our Lieutenant Governor, which is a statewide elected position that in Texas is our President of the Senate. In 2001, when George W. Bush became president, Lieutenant Governor Rick Perry became our governor, and ultimately, due to his outstanding service, became the longest serving governor in Texas history. And let me tell you, Texas did great under Rick Perry's leadership. We went on to become the 10th largest economy in the world under Rick. We became energy independent, leading America to becoming energy independent. Everything was great in every aspect moving forward in Texas. And then he just had to decide to go run for president. Well, we were a little disappointed in that, but at the end of the day, it all worked out great. Because as Secretary of Energy, he took all those great business practices and that desire for energy independence for our country. He took that to D.C. and did great things that still impact America and the entire world today. Now, just quickly on a personal note, I want to tell you when I became a Rick Perry fan. I remember in 2003, the Texas House and the Texas Senate had reached a real impasse on a very, very critical issue. The Senate sponsor and myself and the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate, the Lieutenant Governor at the time, decided we would just take it to Governor Perry and let him make the decision. Now, we went in and we walked him through the two options, the House and the Senate. The House option, the Senate option was good, but the House option was much better, as is usually the case. The problem with the House option, it carried a lot of risk, both politically and frankly, to be honest, it carried some risk of long-term litigation. It was the tougher thing to do. I never will forget this, and I remember later telling my wife about it, that Governor Perry listened to both sides, sat back in his chair, thought a minute, and then said, guys, if you really want to change Texas, you got to be willing to take big risks. And we took the House option. Now, I will tell you, at that moment, I became a huge Rick Perry fan because that's the kind of leader that I wanted for Texas. And frankly, that's the kind of leader I think would have made a great president for the United States. So Governor, Mr. Secretary, again, I'm sorry I can't be there, but we've got our sleeves rolled up back here in Texas, just waiting for our Democrats to come home. See you soon.